Hello and welcome to not only a new series, but actually to my first YouTube video ever. So I hope you enjoy. This is going to be a World of Warcraft classic Let's Play of a Tauren Shaman. So let's jump right in.
Once a nomadic people, the Tauren roamed the endless plains of the Barrens, hunting the mighty Kodo. Scattered across the land, the wandering tribes were united only by their common hatred for their sworn enemy, the marauding Centaur. Seeking aid against the Centaur, the great chieftain Cairn Bloodhoof befriended the savage orcs who had recently journeyed to Kalimdor. With the orcs' help, Cairn and his tribe were able to drive back the Centaur and claim the grasslands of Mulgore for their own. Upon the windswept mesa of Thunder Bluff, Cairn built a refuge for his people. Over time, the scattered tribes united under a single banner. Though the noble Tauren are peaceful in nature, the rites of the Great Hunt are venerated as the heart of their spiritual culture. As a tribesman of Mulgore, you must test your skills in the wild and prove yourself in the Great Hunt.
Alright, so here we are in Camp Narache, or however that's supposed to be pronounced up here. This is where all Taurens start in the zone of Mulgore. It's actually one of my favorite zones in the game. You'll see more as we go. And, alright, let's get started on our first quest right here. Grohl Hawkwind. The hunt begins. You have a promising air about you, and will prove yourself to the tribe. Perhaps someday soon you will become welcomed into the great city of Thunderbluff. But before that can happen, you must prove yourself to my father, Chief Hawkwind. Up here on Red Cloud Mesa, we pride ourselves on keen hunting skills. Tauren hunt out of necessity and for sport. Our supply of meats has run low, and we require feathers for clothing. Hunt the nearby plain striders and prove yourself by resupplying the village. Alright, let's get started. So this is going to be mostly an add-on free run. I do use a lot of add-ons in my normal game, but I'd like to keep this pretty clean. I do use this one quest log add-on though. I think it's called Quest Log Extended or something like that. It makes reading quests so much easier, having these two windows separate, so I highly recommend that one. And alright, let's get started killing some plain striders. Let's see, level 1 Shaman has Lightning Bolt and Healing Wave. Alright. Don't need that, don't need these. Actually, let's put these over here. There's nothing in our bags. Oh, it's always fun to start out again. Oh, this one's level 2. Thankfully, the beginning of the game is always really easy, so it's no problem that we're lower level. I've also got auto loot turned on because shift clicking constantly is a pain, I think. So I'm gonna leave that on for the duration of the run, I'm sure. And at these early levels, there's really not much we can do, so I'm just gonna keep shooting lightning bolts and keep whacking them, and our mana regenerates extremely fast at these low levels, which is nice. Look at that, it's already full in between every fight. One thing you'll also definitely notice about me as I continue to play is I'm very OCD about my bags. I really like to keep all of my, things I'm going to keep, or food, or quest items, or whatever, at the very bottom for the most part. And I like to keep, basically vendor trash up here at the top. Keep everything separated out. So you will probably very often see me moving stuff around in my bags. So I apologize if that's annoying to anyone, but I guess I'm a pretty organized person for that sort of thing. Let's take a look at what weapons we can use here. I've got a one-handed mace equipped right now. Looks like I can use a staff as well. And that is it so far. I think Shaman can use a fair amount of weapons. I think they can definitely use one- and two-handed maces. I don't think they can use swords. I think they might be able to use axes, one- and two-handed axes. I think they can maybe use fist weapons as well, although there's hardly any fist weapons in the game in vanilla, in classic, which is disappointing because they're actually really fun. That might be about it. Definitely can't use wands. Definitely can't use guns or bows. So probably going to be a lot of maces and a lot of staves. Actually, I can almost guarantee I'll be using a staff a lot. Look at that. Already level 2 and we haven't even finished our first... Oh, haven't even finished our first quest yet. Let's see, what do I have? Well, I don't even have a chest on yet. All I've got on is a shirt and pants. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm wearing basically nothing. So, yeah, sure. Let's throw a frayed robe on. Cover ourselves up. Torn are modest people. Actually, that might not be true. I really don't know. I do really like the Tauren race, though. I think a Tauren shaman is actually one of the most... I don't want to say lore-friendly, but I guess just like universe-friendly race class combinations you can do. I think the Shaman really fits the Tauren class really well. So that's one of the main reasons that I chose this as a combination. And oh, we got it back here. Throw that on too. Gear is very ugly at the early stages of the game. Actually, it's pretty ugly throughout most of the game. That's something, unfortunately, most of us that played vanilla remember pretty well. And, oh, and we got some cloth pants. And, oh, not as good. Yeah, so these are cloth, and I'm wearing leather, which will almost always have more armor, and that's really all there is at this level. Oh, wait, I'm done with my quest. What am I doing? Wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, so Shaman can wear... where is it at? Cloth and leather. And shields, that's right. I almost forgot about shields with one-handers. Much later on in the game, at level 40, Shaman can actually wear mail armor as well. But for now, we'll be sticking mostly with leather.
Greetings.
Alright. Providing meat and feathers for the tribe is the first step in proving yourself as a hunter before the chief. The Tauren of Narache thank you, Still Totem. You show much promise. And there's a... Oh, leather. Yes, that is leather. And a mail option. So, yeah, it says... You can see in red it says mail. That means I can't wear it and the picture's red. So, I will be taking this leather belt. Throw that on. Alright, 2 quests now. Just a moment ago, a messenger was looking for you, Still Totem. I believe she was sent by the Shaman Trainer, Mila. If this note is from Mila, I wouldn't take long in reading its contents.
Goodbye. Well met.
And the hunt continues. A Tauren skilled in the ways of the hunt knows that his prey is not for mere trophy. The beasts of the plains provide us with a means of survival. You will make quite an impression on the elders if you can bring back some highly valued mountain cougar pelts. You can find the beasts lurking in the hills to the south. Our children need clothing, and our tents need mending.
Be careful.
Yes, sir. Okay. Here's my note from the Shaman Trainer. I greet you, young shaman. The winds told me of your coming. The earth gave praise of your strength, and now the ancient spirits whisper of your accomplishments to come. Our people always need wise and great leaders. They often turn to our kind for both virtues. If you are willing, I would teach you more of our ways. Seek me out in Camp Narache on Red Cloud Mesa. We will speak more then. Mila Dawnstrider. So, since I'm level 2, I will already be able to buy some spells. You get new spells every even level. So let's sell this stuff we don't need so we can actually have a little bit of money. 68 copper. Hopefully that's enough. And I think this is our Shaman Trainer. Yeah, here's Mila.
What brings you here?
As quickly as water falls from the sky, here you are before me. I am pleased by your haste. It means you realize both the importance of our meeting and you being here. I am no leader, but I do understand the elements, and I can speak to the spirits of our people. I will teach you to do the same. We will meet many times in the days to come. Each time you will hopefully leave my company a little more powerful, a little more prepared. Like the eternal flame, your spirit will burn bright and hot. Go now, Still Totem. Go and test yourself. I will be here for you when you need.
Ancestors watch over.
And let's learn something. Rockbiter weapon. Imbues my weapon increasing melee attack power and additional threat. And that's all we've got for now. All right.
Winds be at your back.
Our first enhancement. Yeah, let's throw it there for now. I'm sure I'll be moving around my spells quite a lot, especially in these early levels when we're getting a lot of new stuff pretty quickly. So I won't get too attached to how I've got things set up here. And let's see, what mountain cougar pelts. That's right. By the way, the add-on I'm using when I talk to people. Can I talk to somebody? Bring it up again? I guess not. I won't run all the way back. It is called Immersion, and it's an add-on I really like. I think the default, dialogue boxes or whatever you want to call them for text are pretty clunky and pretty ugly. Immersion's really nice, and it kind of shows their picture, and you gotta click through their text one at a time. It makes it a little bit more like you're actually having a conversation with them. There was another one that I have used called Storyline, I think, or something similar to that. I like that one too. It shows both you and the other NPC together, which is kind of cool too. But I was having problems getting that working correctly in Classic when I first got started, so I've been using Immersion. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think I missed a quest over there. That's okay. I'll grab it. Next time we run back. There's a person eventually that I need to talk to up in this hut up here. That usually I do at the same time as I'm killing these mountain cougars. Oh, we got a shield. I can throw it on? Yeah, let's do that. I guess we'll take a little bit less damage. So yeah, I know these quests very well. Actually, I should probably do a better job explaining where I'm going and what I'm doing. I kind of just go on autopilot because I already know where all these guys are. I've leveled quite a lot of characters back in vanilla and in Classic already. I even played some on private servers before Classic came out too, to kind of get myself back into how it was back in vanilla. I played the game for quite a while, for a number of years. I played every expansion at least a little bit up until Warlords of Draenor. A lot of the ones towards the end there, I think Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, and then Warlords. I don't think I'm missing one in there. I didn't play each of those really all that long. I quested through all the zones on my main, and played on end game stuff for a little bit, but I didn't play much. And then Warlords of Draenor was the last one that I played. Here we go. Oh. A humble task. All members of the tribe share in the harmony of life. We live together and we work together. Our commitment to one another carries with it a high degree of responsibility. I ask of you now a humble task. My mother set out this morning to fetch water from the well to the southeast of Narache. It has been quite some time now. Perhaps you could check on her for me while I attend to tribal matters here? Oh, this is the chief I'm talking to. Yes, sir. Let's find the chief's mother. Okay. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. I think we go find her, and then we go talk to that other person over there. So I decided to come back to come do this one first. So we're headed southeast to this water well, where his mother is. Now, I don't think there are any mountain cougars this far. I think they're all south down there by the southern hills and by that hut over there. So we'll go get those after we get done with this. about midday, mid-afternoon here where I'm recording, so it's daytime here as well. And kind of as I was saying, I really love this zone, just like the open fields and the trees and the music and everything. That's one thing I really started to miss about vanilla when, you know, further expansions came out and Cataclysm came out and they changed everything, is that it, you know, the ambience, I guess if I want to say it that way, or, you know, kind of went away, and that was something I really missed, so I was really happy to see this come back with Classic. Alright, so, Great Mother. I have traveled many paths through life, and these old legs lack the vigor that they once had. I can still perform my duties to the tribe. Sometimes it just takes an old woman a little longer to do the task. But you look like an eager shaman. Let's put some of that youthful vitality to the test. Take a water pitcher from the well and bring it to my son, the chief, in Camp Narache. Remember that even the most humble task can gain the recognition of elders.
Farewell.
Yeah, I'll really use my young body to carry this jug of water. Easy enough. Oops, got some feet there. Didn't even notice. Alright, so I've got most of what we'll have soon. I guess I'm still missing gloves and I'm missing wrists. The rest of these things are items that we're not going to get for quite some time. I probably excuse me. I probably won't read the quest text forever, like all the time. I'm kind of doing it now just because I think it's kind of nice to just get a, you know, calm start and really try and, you know, pretend that this is a, you know, an actual character. I guess, you know, immersion is the name of this add-on, so I guess that's the whole goal. You know, as you get through the game, you kind of just get tired of it and you don't want to read the quest text anymore, and you just kind of click through things, and, you know, over time you'll realize that you're just not having as much fun because you're not actually caring about what you're doing. So I kind of like to do that. We'll see how much I do that as we go. But at least for now, I'll be doing it that way. You look as though you've returned from the plains. Do you have any word from Great Mother Hawkwind? You carried this pitcher back at the Great Mother's bidding, I see. Your willingness to help others and provide for the Torn of Camp Narache leads me to believe you would make the tribe proud in Thunderbluff someday. Thunderbluff is actually the capital of the Torn race here, so we'll be there in hopefully not too long. I like that city a lot. Your willingness to perform a humble task for the Torn of Narache and your eagerness to learn our noble traits still Totem. I believe one day you will be heralded in Thunderbluff as a shaman of greatness. Before that, you must embark on the rites of the Earth Mother, of which there are 3. The first test is the rite of strength. Travel to Seer Greytongue and tell him Chief Hawkwind has sent you. You'll find the Seer's abode directly to the south of Camp Narache, tucked away in the hills. And that is the hut that I actually mentioned already, so we will head back that way for a second time now and kill our cougars, collect our pelts while we're down there. Pardon me. I'm a little bit sick at the moment, so I'm trying not to clear my throat too much. I probably shouldn't be talking much at all or recording these videos at all, but that's what I feel like doing, so I'm going to do it. And I'll try to keep the clearing my throat to a minimum, so I apologize for that. Another thing I know that I have a pretty big habit of doing when I'm playing by myself is rotating the camera and looking around a lot. I will do my best to keep that in mind while I'm recording these videos. It can probably get pretty disorienting or maybe even nauseating for people watching when, you know, obviously they don't know what I'm about to do, so they're not expecting it. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. I apologize. I'm sure I'll do it plenty. See, like, even right now as I'm fighting something, I kind of like to turn the camera and watch the combat, so I do that a lot. Alrighty, got those, and we've hit level 3. No new spells at level 3, but get some stats, kill stuff faster. Not too bad. Resist. Combat can be relatively boring at these low levels because it's cast some spells, whack them until they're dead so I can regenerate some mana and repeat. So I'm kind of just going through this pretty quickly. I haven't even needed to heal yet. I'm pretty sure health regenerates very quickly at these low levels too, so yeah, look at that. Already back to full. Mana regenerates in combat, but health does not. If you're new to WoW Classic or WoW in general, that's something to keep in mind. I sure hope that never changed later on. I know they made a lot of things a lot easier in the later expansions. I'm not sure if it was Legion or what is it, Battle for Azeroth, this most recent one. And then Shadowlands has been announced. I'm not sure really when most of that stuff happened, but it's a very, very different game now. I mean, I guess it's a little more, actually it's a lot more new user-friendly in a way. I mean, I think it's basically impossible to die, which on one hand is, you know, it's good for a new player, I guess, but on the other hand, it doesn't, let's see, this is not better than what I have. And that is equal to what I have. Like I was saying, it's on one hand better, I guess, because they don't have to worry about not knowing what they're doing, but on the other hand, it doesn't force them to learn how to play. So, you know, I kind of argue that it's really not good for a new player in the long run for that reason. I personally really appreciate these this older, you know, I guess slower style of combat and everything. It gets a lot better as we level up. It's not going to be this boring forever, so don't worry about that. But I really prefer this older way of doing it, and you know, I totally admit that, you know, I'm sure some of that is nostalgia. You know, I started playing this game when I was in high school, back when it first came out. So, you know, nostalgia will always be a part of that. But I think it's not just that. I think I do genuinely enjoy this type of gameplay more. It's much more of what a traditional RPG is supposed to be, and the game is very much not that anymore. And I really like RPGs, so I appreciate those elements of the game back in Classic. Chief Hawkwind sent you? Embarking on the rites of the Earth Mother is no small task. The rites of the Earth Mother are the steps a young Tauren needs to take to gain respect in Thunderbluff. First, you must pass the rite of strength. In this test, you must prove your bravery by slaying enemies of the tribe. Bristlebacks of Bramble Blade Ravine. Sorry, I thought that was just funny reading that out loud. Ravine to the east are encroaching on our tribal lands. They ambush our hunting parties and steal from the village by dark. Show your valor by slaying these villains and return to the chief in Camp Narache with their belts as proof of your deeds. Bristlebacks are these almost like pig-like humanoids. We'll see them here in Mulgore, and then there's quite a lot of them in a zone we won't get to quite yet, called the Barrens, which if you're a veteran of the game, especially on the Horde side, you know the Barrens very well already. It was a pretty notorious zone. I won't talk too much about it now because that'll give us more to talk about later when we get there. But the Barrens is a very well-known zone in this game. Let's see, we are about 2/3 almost to level 4. I think, you know, just the fact that I've played this so many times, I'm pretty sure one of the other quests to go kill those guys, these bristleback guys, is given at level 4. So we'll see how much XP I get from this turn in. If I don't quite hit level 4, I'll probably just go kill a few things to hit level 4 before we go. I might be wrong about that, actually. We'll see. If you can provide pelts for the tribe, I will pass word along to my father, Chief Hawkwind, of your generous deeds. Is there anybody in this village that's not related to the chief? Yeah, I guess some of these guys. The Torrent of Narache, thank you for these provisions, Still Totem. With your skill in the ways of the hunt, you will surely be revered in Thunderbluff someday. And leather wrists. And alright, I don't have any wrists, so let's go ahead and take those. Yeah, ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I guess that's part of the add-on. The battle boars of Bramble Blade Ravine to the east are encroaching on our tribal hunting grounds. They're trained to be malicious by the bristleback quillboars with whom we are at war. Go and slay the vile creatures and bring back some snouts and flanks so that we can make stew for our young. Yeah, so this is kind of weird, I always thought. So there are these people called the quillboar. The bristleback is the name of the tribe, but quillboar I think is like the general name for their race. They're like pig people, and then they also have actual pigs as like pets, which I think is kind of weird. You'll see what I'm talking about. Still Totem, I've heard of you, newcomer. Perhaps it is you that will help us where others have failed. We Torn have carved a home out of this land, but not without a cost. The bristleback quillboars of Bramble Blade Ravine, led by Chief Sharp Tusk Thornmantle, have made our lives difficult with their continued war against us. I charge you to bring me the chief's head. He will be found in the ravine to the east in their makeshift village.
May the eternal sun shine
I love reading names in not just WoW, but in any sort of fantasy. Oh, hey, another player. Tauren Druid. Most Taurens are Druids because, for whatever reason, a lot of people don't like Tauren. I'd say on the Horde side, Tauren and Troll are by far the least played. Undead is by far the most played. I'm just killing stuff to hit level 4, by the way. I don't think I need it for the quest, but this way we can get our level 4 spells before we go over to that new area. But yeah, Tauren are a pretty underplayed race. However, Tauren are the only race that can be Druids, so a significant chunk of any Tauren we'll see almost certainly will be Druids. And interestingly, Druid is by far the least played class, at least in Classic, and I'm pretty sure was the case also in Vanilla. I'm running out of bag space here. So it's kind of a bummer, because like I said at the beginning, this is one of my favorite zones. I can almost certainly say it's my favorite starting zone, like starting leveling zone. So it's unfortunate that, you know, a lot of players don't play through it if they don't like playing Tauren. Let's go sell. Actually, no. Let's just kill a few more things. I'm almost level 4. Bag space is actually, now that I'm thinking about it, another thing that is bummer. Bag space is something that was very important back in Vanilla, and it is in Classic. It's something that slowly became not important in later versions of the game. I'm not sure when it happened, but I'm pretty sure quest items were no longer considered like items that went in your bag. They were just in this, I don't know, mythical, invisible bag of infinite space that it was just for quest items, and it basically... That was weird. I thought it aggroed that other... I thought it aggroed that other plane star there for a second. So, I guess it's another one of those old school mechanics that I enjoy, but I enjoy having to manage my bag space. If you ever played any of the Diablo series, Diablo 2 was fantastic. If you've never played it, I highly encourage you to go play Diablo 2, especially with how, I guess I'll be nice and say rough the launch of Diablo 3 was. But you will really learn how to manage your bag space in that game. It's actually more difficult than in this. You had a grid of I'm not sure exactly how big it was, but each item actually took up a different amount of space. So like you would have a sword that would take up maybe this much space, and you had to fit it in, and then you had another item that maybe went this way, and then you had other weird shaped items, and it was almost like Tetris in your bags. And I could see how it would really piss off some players, but I actually really enjoyed it. So maybe this is the quest I was thinking of to hit level 4.
Well met.
No, this is a shaman quest, so I was wrong about that earlier. The time has come, young shaman. Your body ages and grows strong, and your spirit endures like the earth. I see it within you. You have wisdom already. The earth guides our people, and it speaks to us, as it will to you in time. But you must be tested. If you're ready, then you shall see things only our kind know of. Seek out the bristleback shamans in the ravine to the east, and take from them a salve they use in their rituals. Return to me only when you have enough for your potion.
Walk with the earth.
Okay, so there's a shaman quest. That was not actually the one that I was thinking of, but I am glad that
Guide you.
I came back, because that's in the same place we will be going. Alright, level 4, I have Earth Shock,
Walk with the earth.
which is a great spell, at least for now. It does damage, and it also is a spell interrupt, which is fantastic. I can already say in advance that it's probably not a spell that I will continue to upgrade. I'll probably just use this rank 1 of it as an interrupt for the rest of the game, because the damage portion is really not that important to me. It also causes a high amount of threat. That part's really not that important to me, but as an interrupt, that's something I'll use forever. And I might as well use this rank 1 version that only costs 30 mana. I mean, at level 4, 30 is a significant chunk of what I have now, 109, but, later on when I have, 1,000 mana, 30 is pretty meaningless, so you might as well use the lowest rank of it when you want to save mana. And we're headed east to, what is it called? Bristle Blade Ravine, or what was it? Bramble Blade Ravine. Battle Boars of Bramble Blade Ravine. That's a lot of fun. So here are the pigs. These are not the pig people. These are just the pigs that are pets of pig people. You know what? Actually, yeah, might as well start killing them. There are some inside too, but I guess it doesn't hurt to start killing them on our way in. One of each, not bad. We're gonna be heading into this cave over here. Not only in this zone, but also the Barrens that I mentioned. The telltale sign for these quillboar races are these giant thorns that come out of the ground. I'm actually not sure what the lore is for here. I wonder if they came over from the Barrens from here somehow. If I look at my map. So here we are in Mulgore, which is right next to the Barrens. And a lot of this southern area has a lot of quillboar in it, and actually, well, a lot of the central area too. So I wonder if it somehow came through that way. I'm not sure what the story there is. Oops, wrong button. I also could have mentioned when I first got started that I had already gotten my bars and a couple of things set up before I came back, if you noticed. I didn't bother showing you me setting my options and turning on my action bars and all that. I did that off camera, but I've also got my my hotbar changed. I like to use a lot of the keys near WASD, like I've got Q, R, F, and several other ones. instead of just using 1, 2, 3 all the way across the numpad to, I don't know, the minus key or whatever the last one is. It's extremely difficult to reach your hands from WASD all the way over to like 0, for example, so I don't think it's useful to keep the hotbar set up that way. I like to change it to make use of the other keys that are near where my hands are already. That's a big tip that I would recommend if you've never given that a try. It's much easier that way to reach a lot more of your spells, and it's a mail belt and cloth belt. I have a leather belt. Okay. It's a lot easier that way. There's a lot more you can hit with your fingers without being tempted to click with the mouse. Mouse clicking your spells can be pretty slow. A lot of the time, playing by yourself, playing with just questing by yourself, it probably won't be an issue all that much. But if you do ever get into a pinch, trying to move your mouse down here to click on the right spell, could potentially mess you up. And if you're really close to death, tapping it with your finger instead of clicking it might make all the difference between you dying and not. So I would actually highly recommend that if you haven't done that. So I'm gonna just be slowly making my way through here. I gotta go up this way. Like I said, I've done all these quests a bunch of times, so I kind of already know where to go. It's hard to remember, really how hard it was back playing through it on your first time. I imagine I ran all over the place through here, having no clue where to go. The first time that I came through, probably the first number of times I came through here. I guess that's one of the things that, it was kind of a big joke all the time before Classic actually came out, when Classic and retail people would argue, which, they still do and always will, I'm sure. But, Classic fans will always say how much harder the game was. I kind of already mentioned that, actually. I was saying how it's so much easier to be a new player now. So in general, it is true to a degree, but, part of it too is the fact that, back then, we didn't know what we were doing. We sucked at the game. For a lot of us, myself definitely included, and I'd be willing to bet the majority of the people that played WoW, it was their first MMO. So the whole experience was new. We had no idea how to, wear gear properly and how to use our spells effectively, and, conserving mana and all these little mechanics that we just get now. We had no idea how to do any of that back then. So it was definitely... Let's try not to aggro these two together. Well, I'm sure I still could take it. That's definitely a part of the difficulty that we remember back then. And I think I mentioned already that I had played on private servers a little bit before Classic came out. And they were really hard. And it's actually really funny, moving to Classic now that is so much easier. It just shows how overtuned the difficulty was on the private servers. I wonder if some of that's a little bit intentional, but I think a lot of it is, the people that set up those servers were doing it purely based on memory. There's very little concrete evidence of how the game was, how much damage things did and stuff like that. Like the real mathematical nuts and bolts behind a lot of this stuff. Most of that doesn't exist. So they basically just had to guess and try to remember how hard things were. And the fact that private servers were so hard, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we remember the game being hard just because we were bad at it. And there were a lot of people when Classic finally came out that were convinced that they made the game easier. Like they tuned it down from what it actually was. Despite Blizzard saying, no, we have copies of the game and we're running tests, and this is how it was. This is how much damage it's doing. Running dungeons and leather boots. Yeah, let's throw those on. And my bag is full already. Oh dear. Ooh, Shaman, that's what I need for my quest. Let's actually head over this way. There's actually a little bit of a secret of sorts over here. But yeah, there are a lot of people that, you know, were crying that, you know, there's no way this is how the game was. Like, this is way too easy. But, you know, apparently it was. I mean, if Blizzard's got data from the game and, you know, they've analyzed that, they can do the comparisons on their end, and this is how it was, then this is how it was. And I guess it's just our memories were way off. That was a long time ago. Game came out. Oh crap! I gotta pick up my quest item here. So, humanoids, which these guys are oh, I didn't mention. Yeah, so these are little pig guys. Here, let's take a closer look. Yeah, see how they're like basically a pig person. Pretty ugly one. And then they have actual pig pets. I just find that really weird. And alright, 2 for 2, done. I thought I remembered that quest usually taking me a little bit longer. Okay, so here's actually half of the secret. There's this guy named Squealer Thornmantle, who is perhaps the son, I guess, of Chief Sharptusk Thornmantle. I'm not really sure. We can kill him over here in this cave. He's not marked as a rare spawn. Rare spawn meaning, oops, I pulled a shaman. That's okay, I think we'll be fine. He doesn't have the silver dragon portrait, so he's not actually a rare. But I think he's not always here. Oh crap, I'm getting shot in here. I want to pick up this item. Throw that out, loot that. Alright, come here. He's not always here, and he drops that belt called Squealer's Belt, which is just slightly better than what I have, so honestly it's not anything special, but I think it's just a fun little item. And here's the secret I was actually talking about. Here, see this little map on the ground that it doesn't have a exclamation mark over it or anything that, you know, a lot of players would come over here and not even notice, but this is actually a quest item to start a new quest that we don't have right now. So if you right click on it, you get, oh God. What's not worth a lot? Oh, that's another add-on I'll mention here in a sec. After I get this item. Attack on Camp Narache. After carefully evaluating the map, you realize that what you discovered are the plans made by the Bristleback Warchief for an extended siege on Camp Narache. Surely Chief Hawkwind could use this information. And... oh. Here's one irritating thing. So, this item will technically replace itself with another item when I accepted the quest. So, since my bag was full, I couldn't actually start it yet. Some annoying things like that back in Classic that are, you know, just a part of the charm of the game. Oh, this add-on I was talking about. Oh man, is it part of... I think it's a part of the add-on called Auctionator. It tells me the vendor price of all of these items and also the auction value if I've ever seen it on an auction. And I'm sure it's going to be pulling in the data from my other characters too. I'm playing on the same realm that all of my main characters are on, so there will probably be data in here too. Clearly nobody's put this on the auction, why would you? But this helps you save a little bit of money. You'll know if you need to toss something out of your bags like I've been doing. I'm choosing the cheapest one just to make just a little bit extra money, you know. At this point in the game, it's literally 1 copper difference, which is basically nothing. But, you know, at a low level, it'll make a difference. I may turn more add-ons on later as we go. We'll see. I use quite a lot of add-ons in my main game. I like to set up my interface, you know, just perfectly how I like it. So I've got add-ons for, you know, my my what do you want to call it, portrait and health bars and stuff in the target one. I've got an add-on for the map. I've got an add-on for my hot bars down here, my casting bars and the bag bars, and I've got an add-on for my bags, and I've got an add-on for basically everything. So we'll see. Part of me wants to keep this, you know, as vanilla as I can without really restricting myself on things like the vendor prices and the quest log and a couple of those things that really, really, truly make a difference to me. But we'll see. I might get annoyed, especially once we start getting into group content. I might... Actually, that's another thing I just thought of. I can't see my enemy casting bars. Huh. Is that an add-on that does that? Or I wonder if that's an option. I know it wasn't there back in vanilla, but I could have sworn they implemented it. With classic, but I guess maybe I'm wrong about that. I'll have to look through the options. If not, that's definitely an add-on I'm gonna have to turn on, because seeing your enemy's casting bars is an enormous difference. Oh crap, gotta throw something out again. If you noticed, I earth-shocked the Shaman while he was casting his I don't know, lightning bolt or whatever that spell was that he was casting. But I just so happened to, you know, see his hands casting it. I didn't see a casting bar. So we'll see if I can turn that on somehow without using my add-on. Anyway, that was the chief that I just killed. I guess I wasn't even talking about it. He's just in this hut right here with a couple of guards, but it's not too bad. I could have healed myself in the fight, and I didn't even have to, so... Oh, Jesus, thank you. Leather boots I think I'm wearing, yes. So I don't need those. So we're almost done here. I've actually just got, let's see, one more snout and two more flanks from the battle boars, and then I am out of here. So we'll start making our way out, and I'll kill any pigs I see. Might actually get them all before I get out of here, or we can kill some once we get outside the thorns out there. There's plenty of boars out there. So we will make our way to the exit and see what we can get. Someone actually put these up for a 1 silver on the auction house. Good luck with that. And so we got our snout. Oh, let's see if I can get around this guy. Oh, not quite. I'd like a new weapon. That would help out a lot. I think, let's see. That one gives me a new shield. That'll be nice. Oh, there's some weapons for me. Ooh. I'll bet you I'll take this staff here. Let's see what we got. Leather chest. Nice. Leather gloves. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of stuff when we get back here. This will be nice. Oops. Didn't have my rockbiter weapon on. It's a 5-minute buff, so you got to remember to actually recast that every 5 minutes. You can look up here. It shows up in the corner as a buff, so you can just glance up there and see if it's there or not. Recast it. Oh, didn't get by him either. Not doing very well with my aggro dodging. Let's back up. Oh, coming right at me. Might back up into somebody too. Okay. Level 5. Alright. Ooh, sword. Can't use it, but it'll sell for a lot. And let's try and sneak by up here. On our way out. Still need 2 flanks. Yeah, the second buff up here is actually a buff that came from that Druid I saw earlier. they were kind enough to cast it on me. Mark of the Wild, that's... as far as being a kind player to buff other players, this is arguably the best one. Not only is it helpful to everybody, but it actually lasts for 30 minutes, so you get to keep it for quite a while. So this... get over the rock here. This first level of it only increases your armor a little bit, but the higher ranks of it start to increase all stats, and then also all resistances. So no matter what class you are, you know, some of your stats are important to you, so it's pretty good for anybody. I would say next to that one, the next useful is probably from priests. It's called Power Word Fortitude, I believe, and it increases your stamina quite a bit. I guess some classes maybe don't care as much about stamina, like a mage or something, who shouldn't be getting hit as best you can, so your stamina shouldn't matter that much unless you really get into trouble. But in general, that one's a pretty good one too. Ooh, we got a warrior. Torn warrior. Wearing a dress. Hasn't found any mail armor yet, so he's wearing a cloth one. My very first character back in vanilla was actually a Torn warrior, so I can empathize with this guy having to wear gear that clearly is not what a warrior is supposed to be wearing. I would imagine this is probably not a new player. At this point in the game, there's probably not that many new players. Classic's been out for, let's see, over 4 months now. It's currently January, and Classic came out in late August. So yeah, it's been over 4 months. It's been quite a while. I did wait a little bit on purpose. I didn't want to start a Let's Play right away because competing with that many people for, you know, quest items and all that would just be an enormous pain for a Let's Play. So I knew I wanted to wait at least a little while. This is actually longer than I intended. For various reasons, I just, you know, never got around to starting, but it should be a very easy path for us now. The majority of people have hit 60, and I can't imagine there's that many new players playing anymore. And you know, there might be people leveling an alt character. So there will be players. We'll definitely see players leveling, but it won't be too bad. I'm hoping it's not, you know, too sparse that it'll make it difficult to find dungeon groups, because I would like to be running dungeons on this character on this Let's Play. I really enjoy doing 5-man dungeons, so hopefully we'll be able to do a lot of those. And let's turn in all of our quests here. So, battle boars. The aggression of the battle boars is increasing. Have you sent them a clear message and brought back some snouts and flanks? Most excellent. These ingredients will make a fine stew, and the loss of those boars should be a fair lesson to those vile bristlebacks. So he gave me both of those things. He gave me this chest. Slightly better, sure. I'll put it on. Yeah, it looks nice. And some bread, which is better than eating some disgusting mushroom caps. Actually, I love mushrooms. I shouldn't even say that. Actually, before we try and get more stuff, let's vendor off all this other stuff we don't need.
Hail. How may I aid you?
Sharp Tusk. Sharp Tusk will trouble us no more once you have brought me proof of his death. It is his head that I seek. We Tauren live for the hunt, and there is no greater hunt than against one that is cunning enough to perhaps hunt us back. If you are successful in this task, you will start to learn what I mean. Justice has been served on this day by your swift actions. Let this deed serve as a warning to all who would threaten our home. You've earned this reward to help you on your sojourn. I honestly have no idea what that word is. I'm going to have to look that up. And alright, we got some leather gloves to replace our cloth gloves.
We shall.
Good deal. Sojourn, maybe? Is it like kind of like the word journey? Sojourn?
What
I don't
brings
know.
you here?
The earth is patient and will wait for you until you are ready, because she knows in time all things erode and are reborn. It is the cycle of things. Mountains become deserts, rivers become canyons. The earth is the most stubborn and wise of all the elements. You must learn patience and stamina above all things. The earth calls for you now because she feels you are ready. Consider this your rebirth if you succeed. You will never be able to go back to ignorance afterwards. Ooh, that's heavy. Good. Your return here signifies that you are indeed prepared for the next step. Of all the elements, earth represents the foundation of all things. It is your strength, your stamina, and your patience. The Earth Mother will protect you, but only if you show her proper respect. She's the basis for life, and by observing her laws you will gain a greater wisdom. Never forget the secrets she shares with you. I shall make your sapta for you now, and by accepting it, a new path will open before you. A sapta is a drink created to bind our spirits to the elements. Fused with magic, the potion will allow the open-minded to see the elements as no one has seen them before. Your spirit will forever be tied to the element the sapta was created for, and only a select few of our kind know the secrets of its creation. The sapta is always imbibed in a holy place and never anywhere else. Seek out the Shaman Shrine to the east of here and drink of the sapta.
Walk with the earth.
Alright. About to go take some drugs. That's really what shaman do, right? Have you completed the Rite of Strength? I require proof of your valor against the enemy of our tribe, the Bristlebacks. You've passed the first test of the rites of the Earth Mother. The tribe will be proud. Now here I have a choice to make. I can't use this axe yet. I can't use this dagger or this two-handed axe, but I can use the main-handed mace to replace the one I have, or I can take the staff. Now, I know that I'm also going to be getting another shield. So part of me wants to take the staff because it's higher damage, but the other half wants to keep using the mace and the shield. I know I'll get a staff at some point, so I actually think I'm going to take the mace for now. Alright, more damage. For you to continue with the rites of the Earth Mother, you must pass 2 more tests. It is time for you to broaden your experience. Travel to Bloodhoof Village and seek out the chief, Bane Bloodhoof, son of Cairn. There you may continue your journey and earn the acceptance of the Elders of Thunderbluff. Take this totem to Bane. He will recognize my carvings and help you on your path. Follow the road out of Camp Narache and travel with haste. Do not stray, or you will lose your way.
Be careful. I've been expecting.
And here's the attack plans. This is quite alarming indeed, but with this information we can call on our brethren from Bloodhoof Village to help thwart the attack. You have saved the lives of many Tauren.
May the eternal sun
You are welcome.
shine upon
55 armor from 12. That's a significant jump. And it looks beat up wooden thing to another slightly larger beat up wooden thing. Alright. And I got a new mace too. So let's sell again.
Traveler.
3 silver. I'm rolling in it. Not quite level 6. The trainers in this starting area only teach you things up to level 6. You should definitely not be here any later than that. And I'm actually done a little bit early. So I could... You know what? I'm going to kill a few things just to learn it here. Just because I will not be back here again. So this will be the last time I can talk to her. Mila, I think her name was. Oh, mace is a little bit bigger. I like that. In case you didn't notice, my Rockbiter weapon, this spell I'm casting, is the thing. It's that rock that's glowing and floating around my weapon. That's one cool thing about Shaman in this game, is that they have a lot of effects that, you know, cast like a visible, you know, magical spell around your weapon or around you. I'll get another one, probably. Actually, it might have been here at level 6. I didn't actually look at what the spells were. But I'll have another one that you'll see soon. What do I need? Just a few hundred more. I haven't been paying attention, actually, to what I'm getting on each kill. This guy's level 1, so he's not going to give me that much, but still gives me something. 14? Oh, jeez. Yeah, you know what? We already committed to it. Let's keep doing it. This will be the last thing we do on this episode before we head out of Camp Narache and towards Bloodhoof Village. out of range. This is the kind of thing that it's much nicer. Oh, they run away. Oh, that's what he's doing. The one that I thought was coming at me earlier was actually running away because his buddy was getting attacked. Huh. I actually don't remember that they used to do that. That's kind of interesting. As I was saying, this is something that's kind of nice. The fact that there aren't a lot of players around is I can just go around and kill all these things as I need. If there were a lot of people, you know, on the quest that has to kill these things, there wouldn't be very many, and this would be a pain right now. So I guess that's one benefit of there not being a lot of players around right now. Another druid. Level 1 druid. Nope. I'm killing all his quest mobs. Sorry, buddy. And there's another one. What do we got? Ooh, another shaman. Veggie Tauren. Vegetarian Tauren? I suppose that sounds right. I'm assuming Tauren probably don't eat beef. That'd be pretty messed up. But I guess those pig guys keep pigs as pets, so who knows? Tauren can also be hunters, so I guess they have pets too. Although you can't have a cow pet. Ooh, 6-slot bag. Hell yeah. Oops, Shift B. Shift B opens all bags. And oh yeah, I don't need that anymore. Here's me being OCD about my bags again. Not only do I like to keep things separated in the bags, I like to keep what's in each bag separated. So as you see, I moved, you know, all the stuff that I want to hang on to into its own bag to keep everything separate. As you can see down here, you can have up to 5 bags. I've only just got 2 now. I've got 1 extra in addition to the main 16-slot bag. Hopefully I'll find some more bags. It makes such a huge difference with being able to carry stuff, and you know, even if it's stuff that you just want a vendor, you know, that's more money and less trips you have to make back to town or whatever. So bag space is a big deal, especially in these early levels when you don't have any bags yet. I'm considering sending bags or effectively you know, buying bags for this character from any of my other higher level characters. I haven't decided fully yet. I mean, I guess it's going to be kind of cheating because then this Let's Play isn't totally by itself. We'll see. We'll see how much of a struggle it becomes to find other bags. I may or may not do that. This might be the last kill. Very close. There we go, level 6. Well, I wonder if that bag looks nicer than this one. Let's see. Or, back, sorry. No, I don't think it does, actually. I think this goes with the brown theme of all this nice, beautiful leather that I'm wearing. We'll stick with this one.
Well met.
See, and even just with that little bit of killing, I would have run out of space right there, so you can see bags make a difference. Alright, now let's train.
I've been expecting.
New rank of healing wave. And my first totem. Oh, dang, I forgot I needed to run over and do my shaman thing. I think I'll do that real fast too. Oh yeah, see how it says tools, earth totem in red? I don't have the item I need to start making totems because I'm a dummy and didn't go do my quest yet. So now that'll be the last thing we do on this episode. They said head over here to the east. We ran sort of past it as we were on our way to the cave over here. I didn't point it out. It's basically just this giant rock over here. I think it's actually right where that dirt mound is right there, and the rock just hasn't shown up yet. Allows the shaman to see elemental spirits. Yeah, that's basically a drug, right? I mean, there is alcohol in this game, so why not drugs too? There it is. Kodo Rock. And take the drugs, and oh, that lit up green right there. I actually don't think I've ever noticed that before. Now this big elemental just shows up out of nowhere. Ah, pleased is the earth to have you here. Bound together in body and spirit, you will go forward knowing that the mountains are your strength. The plains, get away from me, pig. The plains, your patience, and the world itself, your essence. Oh, he's getting real close. I might have to fight him. Standing before the earth humbly is all that is required of you for you to pass this rite. But the others are not as passive. They may be chaotic and often violent, but such is the nature of the elements. Dual natures opposing one another, you must come to learn these things intricately. Take this rough quartz from me and bring it to Seer Ravenfeather as proof of our meeting. She will craft a totem for you, and this pebble will be the heart of it. As small as it may seem, you will come to find that size does not matter, and that even the smallest of things can outlast mountains. Be patient, remain strong, and seek wisdom. This is what Earth asks of you. In the end, you shall become one with the Earth, respected as it shall respect you. And a bunch of these little guys out here too. And I can see stuff for 20 more minutes. That's interesting that they made it last so long. I guess it's to help out new players in case they somehow didn't notice this giant rock guy show up right there. I'm not really sure. But it actually doesn't do anything else for us, so it's kind of interesting. But this will give us our Earth Totem that allows us to start using our totems. Totems are kind of an integral part of being a shaman, hence why I named myself, actually. Totems they're easy to use, but kind of difficult to master, to know which one to use in what situation. Early on in the game, you've only got one or two or a few that, you know, it's not too difficult, but later on in the game, especially running dungeons with other players, it becomes a lot more of a dance to know which ones to be using. So I think that's one of the fun parts of being a shaman.
How may I aid you?
Earth Sapta. Oh, is this if I... Oh, that's if you lose it. Okay. Greetings. You would not return to me if you had not accomplished your task. May I be the first to welcome you fully to the first path of 4 that will forever rule your travels. If you have the stone the earth gave to you, I will give you the totem it promised. If not, then I pity you. There is much pride to be had when you've fully dedicated yourself to the elements. Splendid. The totem I will craft for you is more than a symbol. It has abilities beyond that. One use of the totem is a focus for spells. Those spells are tied to the earth, and as you earn greater and greater wisdom, more of the earth's abilities will be made accessible to you. Trainers found throughout Kalimdor will know when you are ready for greater knowledge, and will let you know as much when you visit them. But for now, take this earth totem. And, oh, that was interesting. Oh. Add-on bugged out, I think. Didn't close.
May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
And there we are, Earth Totem. So let's go ahead and throw this in here. We'll hang on to that forever. We'll actually get 3 more as we level throughout the game for different elements. And so is that the totem that... Oh no, this is another one. Okay. Earthbind Totem. So that was...
Walk with the earth.
Oh, I didn't do any of this. You rank a healing wave. So she gave us Stone Skin Totem. I'm gonna have to think about how I want to do these later on. I guess I'll just throw it down there.
What brings you here?
So Stone Skin Totem, if you look in the bottom right there, it says it protects party members within 20 yards, reducing melee damage taken. So reduces incoming damage, which is nice. And this one slows the movement speed of enemies within 10 yards. So this one's a little more situational than the other one. Oh, there it is. I'll throw it there for now. That one's a little more situational. Stone Skin is the one I'll be using most of the time for now anyway. Oh, I got a buff too. Look at that. Got an hour-long buff to increase armor and stamina. Oh, isn't that nice? So, it is time to move on, and I think it's time to end this episode too. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.